I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. I follow.
Oochie bang bang, oochie wally wally. What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, man? Nieces and nephews, kinfolks and cousins. They're like, where's he at? Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. All right. Got a question. This is really something that men really are trying to get their heads around, ladies, and in particular, black women. Why? There was a school, men thought that one of the reasons that there's such a disconnect between women and men today is because women just didn't have the information. Women just didn't, they didn't know. They simply didn't know. They didn't know. And the thought was that because if you're supposed to be so educated and everything else like this, if you just give women the right information, that they can verify themselves, that'll fix the situation. No. No. Why is it easier for women today in general, black women in particular, to believe a lie? Let's talk about the big lie, that the reason black women in their prime years aren't married is because there are not enough suitable black men. They're in jail, down low, such and so forth. That lie has been around since I was in my 20s, and it has been disproven thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Yet, every day, I'll run into a woman that'll tell me the same thing. You're not single because there are not enough men. You're not unmarried because you are the most educated. You are the most enrolled. But who has the most degrees? White women have 15 percentage points more degrees than black women. So even the group of women with the most college degrees is not black women. It's white women. White men have more college degrees than everybody. Black women are more enrolled today than men are, but that's women of every race. So saying that you can't find enough men on the college campus and the golden penis thing is another lie. You're not the most educated, you're the most enrolled. And the notion that education equates to success in relationships. It does not. Education does not even equate to success in the real world. Because with all the education, it's not showing up where it matters in the paycheck. Women earn less than men, not because of education, because women choose different jobs. Women choose jobs about how they feel. Men choose jobs about things, and it makes more money. Women could choose these things, but they choose not to. So you're not married because there are not enough men. You're not more educated. You're not making more money. What's the real issue? I've said it before. Your mothers failed you in teaching you what relationships were. There is a huge gap between the women who were raised and taught how to be wives and work with men and what they've taught their daughters. There are married women to do this and single women to do this. And until you ladies start questioning your mothers and the other people and say, why did you not tell me how important it was for me to get into a long relationship and build with somebody in my prime years, because what you've been told is go out and do what you want to do, have your 20s, and then when you're ready to slow down, find a husband. Doesn't work that way, ladies. We can convert Pookie and Ray Ray or Trailer Park Tim. Women can't do that. You can't go from being this to that. They just can't. You don't have the time. You know what? A lot of women get upset because you talk about men in this high value thing having options. You know what men are searching for more than anything else today in the West? They're searching for feminine women, femininity. And when men find a woman that's feminine, they stop. Stop. Because that's enough. One feminine woman is enough for most men. But the bottom line is today with your education, the ones of you that have it, 50% of women in our community earn less than, 74% of women in our community earn less than $50,000. So you can be as educated as you want to. If it ain't making paper, it don't make no difference. 9% of women earn more than $74,000 a year. Look it up. Statistics, blackdemographics.com, Labor Department, the census. You cannot tell, and a lot of stuff that you guys believe is propaganda. You look at the numbers, and the bottom line is this: unless you are a woman earning in the top 10% of earners, you don't even make enough money to be single. You don't make enough money to be single, but you weren't raised and taught how to work with a man. And whose fault is that? Most women will tell you it's your daddy's fault because he wasn't there. It's your mama's fault because she couldn't keep him around. Why is it easier to believe the lie? Because women today want to believe the reason they're unsuccessful in their personal lives is because men's fault. And it is not. It is not. And the women who sit around talk about how much money they make, they aren't happy either. They're just trying to get off and say, well, this is a better substitute. This is why when women always turn to women like, well, look at Halle Berry and this and that. Look, the women who are happiest are women who are actually working with the man and building a life. You hear a lot of shit on Instagram, this boss bitch and bad chick and diva energy. But you know what? You want to see what really happens? Watch what happens when one of these boss chicks or bad bitches, when one of their homegirls gets engaged, then the truth comes out. And this is where men need to understand it, but you don't need to correct for it. Unfortunately, just like men were forced to grow up sooner in this son-husband role, women in general, black women in particular, did not have a chance to be a little girl. They did not have a chance to be a little girl, did not have a chance to be a princess. This is why so many folks seem to be trying to get what they didn't get in childhood in their adolescence. But it's not our fault as men. It's not our fault. And the bottom line is this, just like when I was talking to the sister, when men become ready to take it to the next level, they're going to look left, they're going to look right, look high, look low. And they're going to get with the first woman that matches what they're trying to get done, and they're feminine. If that black man is looking around and they're not black women, you can't get mad, because you have every opportunity to be what men are asking for. Are you choosing to do it in the time frame that matters? I was out last night at dinner, and I was just sitting there looking at a table of women eating dinner and enjoying themselves. And you know what I was fascinated with? That each one of the women sitting at this high-top bar could spit on the stool. I'm sitting here looking at women who are petite, typical female size. None of them drop dead gorgeous beauties, but I'm like, and I asked myself, when was the last time I saw 8 women sit at a high-top bar on bar stools, and she was on a bar stool and there was room on either side of her? That's not cap, that's not insulting, but that's just the reality. It's like, your mothers told you to do what you wanted to do. And now the information is out there. And my question to you ladies, if you want a different outcome, you're going to have to stop believing the lies you were taught. Because black men are doing just fine in this country. 54% are single and childless, 61% in the middle class, 2.5 million black men in the upper class. Black men are doing just fine. Black men over 30 are doing just fine. And this whole youth-obsessed culture that we have, to where it's driven a lot by, this to the industry, music, media, entertainment, such and so forth. But guess what? You got plenty of brothers over age 30 who are coming into their own between 30 and 40, deciding whether or not they want to go lion or tiger. And the bottom line is, who do you expect these men to get with? And that, sadly, far too many women in their 30s are coming to these men in their 30s, and you're coming with, at best, too big. And we're not supposed to say anything about it. See, men's preferences become prejudices, but women's preferences get celebrated. We're going to talk about it. Just like when I'm about to shoot this video talking about ageism, a woman talking about she used to be a supermodel in her 50s, and now, look, you are not going to shame men, cancel men, or change the way men pick women. Men are just doing what's called the Bradley effect. They'll stop talking about it and they'll start doing it. In 1984, Tom Bradley, mayor of Los Angeles, was slated, thought he was going to be the governor. Everybody said, we're going to vote for Tom Bradley. Well, when people went into the booth, they voted for another white man. Ladies, you must give men what they want. And I'm looking at that table of 8 women, and those 8 women weren't all married to cardiac surgeons. You saw women sitting at the table, and over half of them had rings on their finger. Could fit on the bar stool, smiling, happy. What are you going to do, ladies? Because the information is out there. And like I was telling the other sister, look, in particular to black women, if you don't want the black men that are there, Maria, Marisol, Jamila, Mylene, they'll be like, okay, cool, because it's not our fault that you want to believe these lies. And here's the last thing. If you can be shown that what you have been brought up to believe is not true, do you have the courage to change your mind? And so many women today, sadly, you care more about not offending your mother, not offending the other women, than doing what it takes for you to win. That's your choice. But do not expect men to have to settle and accept it. It takes time for a man to become a man. Men have to earn value. Women, you must maintain value. And men value the same things in women: femininity and mindset. You can be feminine, but is it femininity? A truly feminine woman is enough for one man. If you are always worried about your man cheating and this and that, he's not cheating for sex. He's likely cheating for femininity. Femininity. And that's the one thing in mass that's been taken, especially from Western women, women in the West, and in black women in particular. You've got an education, you've got an opportunity, but you're changed in your femininity. This is why you look around and it's not uncommon to see same height, male or female, and the woman inevitably weighs more than a man at her height. That very nature is not feminine. You know how many times I walk into a woman who's 5'9" and she weighs more than me? 5'4", 187 pounds, and a brother's 5'9" and 185. acceptable. You're going to have to stop believing the lie, accept the truth, and then do something about it like your life depended on it. Because ladies, like I said, unless you're making the kind of money to provide for yourself in your elder years, unless you know you're going to have your retirement and everything else, your life does depend on it. Act like you have a sense of urgency, then go ask your mom and them, why didn't you tell me this when I was growing up? Put the blame on your mom and them. Don't put the blame on your daddy, because most of y'all ain't even got your daddy's side of the story. And even after you get it, even after you forgive your father and blame your mother, you got to forgive them both, and you still got to get out here. You still got to get out here, because in the sexual marketplace, all is fair in love and war, and it is all out war. Do you have what you need to win the battle? Do you have what you need to win the war? Not, peace out. People, let's see, how many people have lost their channels this week? 6 people have lost their channels this week for using my content. I'm not playing with y'all. When I say don't use my content, I mean it. Don't use my permission. 6 channels in 2 days. Now, and they were all channels that were monetized. Don't play.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah, lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah. Susceptible.
I got 2 people in federal court right now. So I'm letting you know, folks, I'm not playing with you. I think a lot of folks just think this is a game, and they think that these videos are just what they want to. When you sign that YouTube form, you got your information out there. I'm not going to say anything. Keep playing. Keep playing if you want to. Now, if you want to use my content, request permission. And if I grant it, cool. If not, I'll keep taking y'all's money. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. We're the only group of people that feel like that we can just, because Black people, we have just no chill. It's like, I see it, I'll use it. Nah, you can't have that. Bottom line is, here's what it comes down to. Like it or not, ladies, the world is changing.
Yeah. Lune. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah, no me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, de corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunático.
This is why I don't think the right message for women is just do you. Worry about you. Get your stuff. Live your life. Hey, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Are you single or married?
Divorced.
Got any children?
2 girls, 9 and 13 years old.
Okay, so the question I'm asking tonight is, what is the right message for women today? And you got 2 young girls, so what's the right message?
What's the right message for women today?
Because people often tell me, "What are you doing talking about this stuff? You're not a woman. You know what you're talking about?" Okay, well, if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm asking women. What's the right message for women? Since apparently we don't know what we're talking about.
Well, what I would say is family is important because I know a lot of women today don't really take relationships and family very seriously. So that should be top priority back to what we know. That's something I know you focus on a lot. So marriage is important, family is important. And that's something I do, advocate a lot when it comes to in terms of talking to young women, including my older daughter. I do that a lot.
How old is your oldest?
She's 13 years old.
And how long have you been divorced?
We've been separated for 5 years, divorced 3 years.
And who filed for divorce?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
How do those 2 positions line up?
Pardon me?
How do those 2 positions line up? If you're saying the right message for women today is marriage and family, you were married and had a family, but then you left.
Yes, I did. So, I filed for divorce because I live in Canada, by the way, and after moving to Canada, because me and my husband had a visiting relationship for many years. When I moved here, things obviously changed, and I couldn't care for my children. I wasn't able to be a mother 100%, and I had to change. And I know the only way I can do better is if I file for divorce. I was stressed a lot. My husband wasn't faithful, and it kind of didn't. I wasn't in a good place knowing that. So eventually, I had to just accept that. Okay, I cannot function here, and pardon me.
Your husband was in Canada?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I just heard. I was too weak for marriage. So I decided to be a single mother, and that's nowhere near as tough.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I really fought for my marriage. Like, I suggested counseling. My husband wouldn't go with me. I did the lone track counseling. Even after we were separated, like, I was going to therapy while I was still there, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing as a wife,
Got
all my
divorced on
life
what grounds?
duties.
Got divorced on what grounds?
So I basically, when I filed for divorce, it was mutual. But he obviously, my husband, it wasn't. I didn't want to.
There's grounds. What was the
Yeah.
grounds?
I just said it was mutual.
There's not a mutual, man. I'm doing my best, but don't do this to me.
Okay.
Grounds. You have to file a ground. Was it irreconcilable differences?
Maybe that's what it was. I honestly don't remember.
How long you been divorced?
3 years. Since 2019, the
Now, I want
beginning of
you to understand why
2019.
I'm starting to look at you a certain kind of way. You're the woman
Yes.
that came in and said marriage and family is so important.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I'm still hearing you filed for divorce
Yes, I
on the
did.
terms of irreconcilable differences. And what I'm hearing, what a lot of guys are hearing, here comes another woman painting herself in the victim position. It was hard. It was this. I tried, and I was a saint. I mean, the way, and maybe this isn't you, but the way so many of you women talk is like you're damn angels.
Oh,
And the men are walking around as demons, and I tried so much. He didn't want to go to counseling or therapy. But you know what the funny thing is? At the end of that story, it's 80% of the time, it is a woman's name is the plaintiff.
that's true.
So excuse me. There was a movie called was it Constantine? John Constantine. And where the archangel Gabriel turned out to be the villain. That's what I hear when I hear a lot of you women talk all these right things. But at the end of the day, on that divorce action, your name is the plaintiff, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hadn't filed for divorce, would your family still be together?
Yes.
Okay. So do you understand how everybody else could be just as confused as what you say? And
I
your daughter, like
understand.
over there, and if marriage and family is so important, why'd you leave her daddy?
I know. I do
Do you?
understand.
Do you? Do you?
I
Because
do.
if you did, I think you would have told the story a different way. You'd have told
Okay.
the story a way to where you really understood. You told the story where you're a victim. I tried my best. I did my best, but I guess my best was, see, it was mutual. I've been doing this too long. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter if you're in Canada, New York City, Miami, in the West, you ladies all tell the same story.
Mm-hmm.
So now, since family is so important, the next step is to go get a stepfather.
Well, I would love to get married.
Why would a
And
man, why would a man marry you when you already left your husband and the father of the kids? Why would a guy come in and take over two daughters of a woman who left her husband?
I understand.
No, 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 no. I asked why.
Why? Um, well, I would obviously explain the reason, even though I just said I didn't get into a lot of details. So having that conversation would be important
The,
in making that
the
person
details,
understand.
I don't need to get into all the details.
Hmm.
But what if you got married and this man cheated, so you say? You gonna leave him yet?
Um, so, To be honest with you, I always hear you talk, and that's something you,
Would you leave again?
well, it's something that I'm looking at very differently.
How did you find out that your husband was, I'm going to assume he was cheating. How did you find out he was cheating?
So I had people,
Somebody,
sorry. Okay, well, yeah, people reached out to me,
people like
many
who?
times.
People like who?
So random women would reach out and I would ask, and
Random women that he was dealing with?
yeah, yeah. So that was kind of made me feel real awful. They had
Hold on,
access
hold
to
on,
me.
hold on. Let me ask some questions.
Yeah.
So you saying your husband was cheating? How many times did he cheat? How many women reached out to you?
I lost count because while I was in Guyana, like he was like, yeah. So when I got here, like
I'm just trying to understand, man, because
it just came out of left field.
what you're saying is, I was married, I got 2 kids, and my husband was cheating, and he was cheating so much that every day I came home and I had women all over the place. That's not how people move. That's the way you're telling the story, but I want to know how many women, approximately. You say I lost count. Where did you stop counting?
Maybe at like 5.
5.
Yeah.
So 5. So he cheated with. There were 5 women he cheated with, and these 5 women called you.
Messages, inbox calls, send photos, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, I just want you to know I'm having an affair with your husband."
Things like that, yeah. Or doesn't want you,
Mm-hmm.
just there, and
And
like
then,
this weird stuff.
when you asked him about the first woman, what did he say?
Um, it's not that serious. I don't want her.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm married to you.
Okay. And you were in Guyana, and he was in where?
So the first time I found out, we both was in the States.
You were both
When
where?
we were in the States, like
You were
celebrating
both in
our
the States.
anniversary. Yeah.
So you were with your husband. He cheated with some woman, and this woman reached out to you and said, "Your husband is. I'm sleeping with your husband." And you confronted him. He said, "I don't want her. I'm with you."
Mhm.
All right. Let's move on to the second or third one. The second one reached out and said what?
So by that time I was here,
And he was where?
and both of us was here.
Both of them. And
And
somebody reached out to you again.
the second time I just saw like messages, like I woke up and I left the room and I came back and his phone was on, and I just saw like these random photos was coming
His
through.
phone was on.
It was like, so he was texting the person, and as I walk into the room, he put on the phone.
Uh-huh.
So the phone kept, but because the message kept coming through, it stayed late.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? And it was just like,
Okay.
I can't wait to see you. I miss you. Been thinking about you, kind of like that. Don't think about it now.
No. What? Okay. So he was messaging somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we asked him about it. What did he say?
He doesn't know the girl. He just met her, which was not true.
Okay. And this happened 3 more times, you say?
Yeah, it happened quite often.
Okay.
It was like to a point where sometimes he would not come home. Like, I'm gonna stay with my boys. I fell asleep with my boys. It was like, no.
Well, if he was doing, that kind of stuff, that's reckless.
Yeah.
I don't make excuses for infidelity. I think if you're going to step out, you need to say something. You need to get that understood up front. Yeah. Just take the story as you say it, but I'm going to tell you, it is so unusual for women to just. I've lived on this planet for a long time. Have women back to back to back contacting a wife. Okay, but let's just say it happened that way. Okay, and you wanted to go to therapy because you wanted to save your marriage, and he was okay with getting divorced.
He wasn't okay with getting divorced. He just said, I don't need therapy. I don't need to go to marriage
But he was
counsel.
still gonna. But he still wanted to have relations with other women.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously he would say like I wouldn't, but it would still happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I got a hard question to ask. Intermission. Let's get this money up. Get these likes up.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te la ve.
We're about to open the call line. Let's see what we got going on. Oh man, we don't even have the likes up over 1,000. Oh man, we got to get the likes way up.
Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work.
Oh, let me help this chick out.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero.
Bye.
Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me
Moderators.
ves solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un
Time out
interés.
any of these
Buen humano para mí es un deber.
crazy people talking about the best from anything
No
else.
vendo mi alma, lo
None of that
lograré.
time, no time for
Seré
that.
el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
Come on. Again, it's only a problem. It's only a problem if you're outspoken.
Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Corazón, de corazón.
He shouldn't be saying these kind of things.
Ser feliz.
We've got right to reason to be angry and unhappy. It ain't our fault. Cool, ain't nobody said it was.
Money work.
Nobody gonna put up with it though. Especially not men who've had to
Mundo quiere dinero.
work to get to the next level.
Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
Luna.
Okay.
A hard question. Prepare. You've been single for 3 years. And you're how old again?
30.
330. I know a lot of women don't like trying to manage men's sexuality. Would it be better to go find a stepfather or just put down some rules?
I think it would be better to definitely finding a husband and
Finding
building
a
a family.
husband?
Finding a husband, someone who I can start
Okay,
over.
no,
Yeah.
I didn't say the husband, I said a stepfather because that's what it
Oh,
is.
for my daughters?
No, it's going to be a stepfather. It's going to
Yeah,
be a stepfather
yes. But
first.
the answer is yes, Kevin, yes.
Well, see, the reason I make the distinction is because
Mhm.
women think about yourselves first. But a man is going to pick you. He has to have two daughters
Yes.
who are going into puberty.
Mhm.
That is an extremely dangerous situation for a man with sense. Do you want any more children?
I would love to have 2 more children.
Okay. Do you want to work after you're pregnant and married again?
Yes, because I have 2 children already.
What percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for those 4 children?
I would say about 30%.
30%. Did you go to college?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How much annual income are you going to need to have to live a comfortable life with 4 children?
In Canada, I would say maybe like 350,000 to
Okay.
four.
Are
Yeah.
you making more than six figures?
I'm currently not more than six figures.
Okay. Are you making more than 80,000?
Right below that.
Below that could be 50 or it could be 79.
Okay. Between 70 and 80.
Okay, man, due respect between 70 and 80. And if you need 350, that ain't 30%.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. See, women's income just doesn't jump. To make 30% of 350, you'd have to be at 115,000, 120.
Mhm.
That means you have to have a 50% raise. That don't happen.
That does not happen.
No, it doesn't happen. So that means you'd have to have a man who's making, oh, let's give you 80. That means you have to have a man that's making $270,000 who wants to be a stepdaddy. What percentage of men do you think make $270,000 who are
3%.
who want to be stepfathers, the teenage daughters?
Not a lot of persons.
What percentage?
I would say under 3%
No,
or
3%.
want to
3%
be.
of men make 3% of men make that amount of money. But then you also have to have of that 3%. You have to find a man that's single,
Mhm.
marriage minded, willing to be a stepdad of two teenage daughters. You find attractive. This is why you don't like what I'm about to say. This is why I can tell you, ladies, go back to your husbands. Because you're now in the sexual marketplace.
Mhm.
And the sexual marketplace don't care. Your kids are special to you. We don't care. The marketplace doesn't care. That's another bill. How are your children going to be an asset to another man? But he has to pay for them. If he had two children with you, every dollar that he would spend in that household, 50 cents of it would go towards his biological children, 50 cents of it will go towards somebody else's biological children. In nature, when a lion or a male takes over new females, what do they do with the cubs? So this is what I'm trying to tell you, ladies. Y'all wanted everything. You wanted men to be faithful and this and that. So and I would just blow up my family when I say the most important thing is family and marriage, which is what you had.
Mhm.
Backed out and you wrecked your own home. Even though you say I've tried a little therapy and counseling, whatever. What you didn't say is you didn't say, well, all right, here, just don't let me find out about it. Don't bring home no babies, outside kids. Don't embarrass me. No, you want them to be loyal.
No, I did say that.
You did or you did not.
I did.
You told them what?
I told him like let's try this again in the beginning of 2020.
After
And
divorce.
yes, the divorce was
No,
already
no, no, no,
final.
no. What I'm saying is you didn't say, here's some parameters to your sexual desires. No outside babies, no diseases, don't be spending no money, and don't embarrass me. You wanted him to stop.
Mhm.
Okay. And he didn't. And now here you are trying to reconcile after a divorce. And a lot of women are like, you should have left, girls, such and so forth. Them are the same damn women who going home to this. And now you're out here in the sexual marketplace, and you know what you look like? A whole snack. She got two kids. Oh, I can knock that off real quick. I tell her what she want to hear. I'm gonna hit it from the back a few times. What? What? 350,000? Two kids? Pay these bills? Shit. I'm gonna give me a little 24-year-old before I do all that. I'm not taking a little 30-year-old woman with two kids. Fuck that. I mean, I'm serious. That's how men are
I
thinking.
know. I know.
And when you said let's reconcile, what did he say?
Yes. We tried, but 2 months in, I found out during the separation he was sleeping with someone that I know, and the girl act crazy, like she was stalking me, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, he sounded like he had a taste for women. So everybody he was cheating with, you found out about.
Not everyone. I know not
You
everyone.
said 2 months after y'all tried to reconcile, you found out he was doing what?
Talking to someone that I knew, like I
Talking to
had,
somebody that you knew.
like was sleeping with the girl. The girl was living where we lived together. Like she was there like 5 times a week. And
But you guys are divorced, right?
yeah, it was during while the divorce was processing when she was living there.
Okay, I'm confused.
So
I thought you said
when
after the divorce was final, you guys tried to reconcile.
yeah, so the divorce got finalized December of 2019, right?
Okay.
And so 2020, like right around January, because we talk, right? We had a really good
Okay.
interaction.
January 2020.
But so March, I found out because he's with me all the time, and now she started acting up, and it was just a lot, and it was
But
a lot.
you divorced him.
Yeah.
So you legally divorced him, and then you
Mhm.
wanted him to talk to you about getting back together and still live like he was. No, he could fuck whoever he wanted to. See, you make no sense. You
But
want him to,
Kevin,
you divorced him, then let's reconcile. And he doesn't sound like he has the guts to tell you directly, no, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing over here. It sounds like he tells you what you want to hear, and then I'm gonna tell you, you strike me as the kind of woman that goes looking for shit too at this point. And you seem like you might be justified, but still you go looking for problems. You got a man who likes to, how old is this guy?
he was 18 years older than I was.
18 years old. How much does he make?
Average.
18. God damn. You got yourself in a dilly of a pickle. Well, here's the hardcore reality. It always comes down, well, you don't have them anymore, so that's who you married. That's who you had kids with. I'm sorry. People ain't gonna like what I have to say, but that's who you picked. Because now you're just out here, and the chances of you getting what you want, it's unlikely. It's just, especially this whole want to have 2 kids, and I mean, who's gonna pay for that? And your husband didn't make this kind of money. Why do you get a man like that after 2 kids? You get another average man at best. How tall are you?
Well, I'm 5'9".
Dress size?
My dress size, I was 4, sometimes 6, just depends.
My point is, I always tell women you don't get higher than your baby daddy.
That's true.
So your husband was an average guy, and he was almost 50, 48.
Right now he's 48, yeah.
That's what you get. He is the ceiling. You made babies with a 48-year-old average guy who was catting around town. What the hell does a $300,000 a year surgeon or attorney tell his friends and his partners and his colleagues that he's going to be a stepfather to a woman with a... Nah. I'm being honest. And guys are like telling the truth. The women are probably losing their minds. But unfortunately, it's almost like the Cold War. There are levels that you're willing to deal with. And shit, he's gonna die earlier than you anyway. So I don't know. It sounds like a bad situation all the way around. I'm just saying, and whoever you are, dude, you should. If she's being honest, you should be a hell of a lot chose better. Because I've just never.
I can't hear you. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
All the best. So your daughters, you're teaching them marriage and family. Do you talk to them about the relationship with their father?
If I've spoken to them about
Why y'all are divorced?
I didn't because I don't think that is something that I should be discussing with them
But
now.
please don't. Please don't. And I'm saying at the end of the day, um, if it's about marriage and family, it's a rough one. But I don't know. Well, I think one of the worst things we did was have no fault divorce because I'm not talking about you because this sounds pretty crazy to me. But
Mm-hmm.
there are women who leave their relationships for far less because they think the grass is greener on the other side. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like you have cause. Um, if he was around guys like me, we'd beat his ass
Mm-hmm.
because you don't. Even if you're gonna mess around, you don't embarrass your fucking wife. That's just what you don't do. I don't cheat. I've never cheated. And I'll tell you, I've said that before, and any woman I've ever dealt with will tell you, he's a lot of things, but a cheater he ain't. I understand why guys do it, and I'm thinking if you're going to do something like that, you need to talk about that up front before you get married. If she signs off on it, you sign off on it, but there got to be rules. Because that's not realistic to think you should come home to crazy women on the phone and somebody sitting on the side of the bed fucking texting somebody sloppy ass like that. That's he need his ass whooped for that shit. That's the fuck shit. It's not an easy situation. But have you had counseling?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Well, I will say this, and I got to move on. Sound like he's a piece of shit. I'm not going to tell you to stay with a piece of cheating shit who ain't doing that. So I'm an advocate for men, but this is some bullshit. You have to learn, you have to figure out what it is of value you're going to bring to a man that you want to be with and understand you're looking for a stepfather before a husband, and you're going to have to outcompete the women who have no children, especially no daughters. That's your position to be in. You're in Canada. You may not know anything about American football, but there was a time there was a team called the Buffalo Bills. They were down at halftime, 38-3. They were down by 35 points, and they came back and won the game. He's gonna have a plan. You're gonna have to get some. You're gonna have to get some interceptions. You got the defense to go after a hole. You got to score some points. You got to do some shit, man. Because you got two. You got two girls. Your youngest girl is how old?
9 years old. She'll be
Ooh,
10 in April.
the worst case you can do 30. So the worst case at 18, you'll be 40. You know, maybe you decide to do it after she's out of the house at 40.
That's too long.
Well, baby girl, you got kids. I'm
I
telling you right
understand.
now, in 2022, there's no way in the Hades I would deal with a woman with daughters. All any man has to do is go in there and your daughter say, he looked at me a certain way. Fuck.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. About things don't mind me. Yeah, I'ma just drag myself and leave. Skip my knees. Fuck this shit.
I would tell any man, fuck that shit. The climate it's not a good time. You know it's a very anti-male climate. And you know the allegation is enough. And a man that would pass your level of suitability is an above average earner.
Mm-hmm.
Too much to risk. Too much to risk. And you got to understand that that's where men are coming from. So I get it why you're saying that's too long. Well, then that tells me you better come up with a killer sales presentation and be able to deliver to make somebody want to sign on the line, which is dotted at 30 years old, to take on a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. It's not like you got homework.
Yeah.
Better go get some coffee, some no-dos, get in the gym, learn to get in the gym, get you a cookbook.
I'm a chef.
Well, to get you the Kama Sutra, you better learn how to be more than a chef. You better be something else. So you've got to have a package. All right, have a good night.
Before you go,
Yeah.
can I say something?
Go ahead.
So I do have someone who's interested in marrying me, but they live in New York. And they live in New York, and so they told me like a year and a half ago they're giving me 2 years to decide if I'm going to move there. I was very hesitant of relocating, but they're an amazing person, marriage-minded, 48 years old. They don't want any more children. They're fine with my 2 daughters. But
Okay.
I've just been like thinking if I didn't want to like relocate, and they would never move here because they're a city person and they want to stay in New York City.
Hello? Are you insane?
I'm here. I'm right
No, are
here.
you insane? Somebody
No,
wants to marry you,
yes,
and all you have to do is move?
relocate. Yeah.
This is why I say you can't please modern women. What else do you want? You want the motherfucker to be around the corner from you? He's amazing in all these things. He knows your situation. He's willing to take you and your daughters.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Well, here's the thing. Hey, man, wherever you are
Yeah.
in New York, go get another woman. Stop taking up phone calls and stop being so available. Then she'll come running real quick. If he stopped answering your phone calls and said, you waited too long, I got somebody else, what would your decision then be? You'd say, okay, have a nice life, enjoy.
Back to what you said,
So what would
fear.
you say if he said, you waited too long, I got somebody else? You'd say what?
I don't know.
See, and that's the problem. You ladies are lazy daters. You're not competitive. Oh, Jesus Christ. Y'all think men are supposed to be easy to get.
But you're right,
But
Kevin.
nothing. You're in Canada. You got 2 kids. You got somebody
I
who wants
never
to.
dated, so I just have that mindset, that old mindset.
What are you talking about? This is the joke. I want you guys to look up the joke called the husband story. You got another man who's willing to be your husband.
Mhm.
What makes you think you're going to get a better deal?
It's not about a better deal,
Yeah, it
to be
is.
honest with
Well,
you.
yeah, it is. Because it's either if the God the God you understand and believe in came and said, "This is the last man. This is it. The last bus. No more. You either pick him or the rest of your life single." What would you do?
I would probably relocate.
That's the point. I said it last night. Modern women weaponize the possibility. Y'all are so worried about the possibility, the possibility, the possibility. This is why I have no sympathy for a lot of you because you sit around like, well, it could. I don't know. Where are your people from?
My background? Guyana.
Okay, never been to Guyana, but it is on the continent of Africa.
No, South America.
Guyana,
Guyana, yes.
okay, South America.
hmm Next to Brazil, Venezuela.
Oh, man, where am I thinking about? Uganda. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Americans don't know geography. But anywho, something real quick. What's the geography of Guyana?
Less than 1 million people and the coast of South
Guyana
America.
is in West Africa.
Nope.
Ghana,
Oh,
Ghana.
yeah. Only English-speaking country in South America.
Okay, spell it.
G-U-Y,
G-U-I,
G-U-Y,
G-U-Y.
A-N-A.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I understand why I'm thinking honest mistake. Okay. South America, rainforest, English speaking, calypso music. Okay. Um, ugh. Well, that's too long. The point is, I was going to look. You have opportunity.
Yeah.
You can, and here's the thing. I think you take the man to New York and get off
Okay.
my show. I'm serious. I don't know what.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm just tired. You
Thank
got
you.
somebody who wants to marry you. You don't want to move. I'm like, what the French toast? You're lucky. You're lucky. Go on over there, marry the guy, and then smile and be happy. And do your duty, and he's apparently gonna pay the bills. What else do you want?
Okay. Yeah. You're okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
My God. This is like Guyana. Guyana, Ghana. I'm sorry. All right, let's get these badges up, people. See, a lot of times women there's some women who just want somebody to, shoot them straight. And, not that my opinion, I just give you my opinion. Like, life is about choices and trade-offs.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
26.
So, would you rather be right, have a man, or are you ready to live with a woman until the end if you don't have one?
What do you mean by being right, though? I'm a little confused.
Being right. There's part of something called sign language. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Being right typically means a lot of modern women insist upon their way. It has to be my way. And we'll argue.
Okay, so like my way or the highway type of like vibe.
Uncooperative, disagreeable.
Okay.
Back up a little bit.
Oh, listen, I'm not a size 4, so.
I'm just saying because your face is half on there. It's
Oh, okay. Let me
Yeah,
go.
your face is right here.
Sorry, I was fixing some tea. Hold on. Okay.
all right. Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
So the being right, the being right just means it makes it almost impossible for you to cooperate with a man long term. What's the longest relationship you've ever
I would say a year.
had? And you're 20, how old?
26.
26. A year. How many relationships have you had that you did not leave?
Like 2.
How old were you when the last one happened?
I was like 24.
Why did you leave?
Okay, so like it wasn't really a relationship. It was like a situationship.
So in other words, you can't count that one.
You can't really. I mean, now you can't count really.
What do you have?
I'm
You said
engaged.
You're engaged? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So prior to, I really didn't count that.
how long you been engaged?
About a month now.
And how long you guys been together?
For about 5 months. Yeah.
When you guys getting married?
I want to get married by November 2022.
A year and a half from now?
Well, we just bought a house, so I need to save up. So
Save up for what?
I want a wedding.
You have any children?
No.
So you guys are knowing each other for less than 6 months, you're engaged, but you're not going to get married until 2022 because you just bought a house and you want a wedding.
Get married, I have a ceremony or
Okay.
family.
Okay.
It's nothing to the courthouse, but yeah. It's
Huh? What'd you say?
I said it's nothing to go to the courthouse.
How many kids do you want to have?
I would say like 3.
And are you going to work after you are pregnant with the first kid?
No, I'm not. Wait, what?
Are you going to work after you're pregnant with the first child?
Yes, because I want.
Yes, because you want what?
Because I want to. Like, I mean, I don't mind staying bonding with like my child, but in the long run, I would like to go, like, have my own business or something in that type of like.
Did you go to college?
Yeah,
What's your degree in?
accounting.
And what's your plan to have a business in?
You know, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm still young, so I'm still figuring all that. Yeah.
So a wife, a mother, 3 kids, and a business owner.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big but whatever happens and whatever what's gonna happen.
Whatever what? I didn't hear whatever what?
Back to the right. I still think the right or wrong because like
I didn't hear what you said. You were breaking up. We can get to that, but I didn't say whatever what. I didn't hear that part.
I mean like whatever like we agree like in the household is what we're gonna do. So
okay. So back to the right or wrong. Here's what it comes down to. Honestly, if you only have a year-long relationship, what history do you have cooperating with a man long term?
I mean, repeat that.
Say again?
Repeat what you just said. Sorry.
What history do you have cooperating with a man long term?
I don't know, like the word cooperate. Oh, it's like honestly, I don't have a long record because I haven't had anyone like come into my life and really be on that level for me to cooperate. Now I do, but prior to I really didn't. So
why don't you like the word cooperate?
it sounds like cooperate. I don't know. It sounds kind of like robotic-y or like a yes thing, like anything that a business goes, kind of.
How old is your fiance?
Huh?
How old is your fiance?
35.
35? You got a 26-year-old who doesn't like the word cooperate.
I mean, weird word, cooperate. Like,
No, it's not weird. Then how you gonna say love, honor, and obey?
obey. So if I don't obey, like you get hit or something.
Your mother and father married?
Yes.
I mean, it's really, you say you're engaged. I'm talking to a woman who says she's engaged and wants to be mother. You have no problem with cooperation and obeying.
No, I mean, it's just the word seems so weird. I don't have a problem with like respecting my man, things of that nature, but like the words are just so, I don't know, but.
Are you guys having premarital counseling?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you guys having premarital counseling?
Yeah, yeah.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause this doesn't sound good.
Ooh, it sounds horrible.
It doesn't sound good. You sound kind of childish, selfish.
Oh.
Okay. What I'm asking you want a wedding. I mean, your mother and father are still married?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then the wedding you're going to have should be paid for by them. And whatever they can afford is what you get. Versus starting a marriage in a whole. But this is about you. It's about what you want.
I tell everything. That's my personal business, but
This you want a wedding. Men don't want weddings.
yeah, that's
So
true.
again, you would, instead of getting on with the business of life, you'd rather wait to put yourself in a hole for a ceremony, and you don't even want to cooperate.
I didn't say I didn't want to. Just
The word cooperate just means what it means, and this is what I mean. This is why I said being right is synonymous to being uncooperative, and it fucks with a lot of black women because you have a rebellious spirit.
I don't think I'm rebellious. Like,
Well, what do you? Okay, whatever word you want to call it, it's disagreeable. You have less than a year track record of being with anybody. I hope you guys sit down with someone because, I'm just gonna tell you what I'm reading from you is you're kind of selfish.
oh, okay.
And are you an only child?
No.
Okay. But are you used to getting your way in the family? Like, are you the baby girl or something like that?
I'm baby girl, yes.
Yeah, spoiled. Yep.
I'm like spoiled.
Yeah, and a spoiled rotten woman ain't is good to nobody. It's good to nobody because being spoiled as a baby girl or a daughter is one thing. Being spoiled to a man and a wife, that's a formula for bad things. So I hope y'all sit down with somebody prior to getting married and everything else to figure out what's going on because, almost like he needs to get on your page. At 35.
My page? No.
So if he decided he didn't want to pay for a wedding, then what?
I'm still trying to make my page. What do you mean? But I'm sorry.
Your page needs to be his page. That's the point.
Okay.
But if he decided, let's say he decided he didn't want to have a wedding. Let's just say he said, look, babe, that's it. We're not doing this. Then what? We're going to the courthouse. What do you say?
I mean, I would be upset because I'm human and I'm a woman, and who doesn't want a wedding? But
you do what?
Too personal within it, so.
But you do what?
That's all I gotta say about that.
You will make him pay for that shit too.
What, bitch? What?
Homie, whoever you are, y'all need to have counseling just to make sure y'all are on the same page. Because whatever's going on with you in this cooperate word, red flags. I'm just saying, you come across as kind of selfish. It's about you.
It's all about me.
That's what I'm getting. I mean, have you not heard this from anybody before? Okay, well, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but premarital counseling is always advisable to make sure you're on the same page. Because the wedding and all that other stuff, especially after buying a home and this, that's for you. If your family can't afford it, take what you can get and take the small ceremony. You're supposed to care more about the marriage and the man and starting your life than this showing off for your friends.
Okay.
Does that not make sense?
I mean, it does, but I want what I want. Certain people want what they want. So.
Right. I know. That's in the nature. That's at the root of wanting to be right.
Well, I actually, instead of asking my mom, I actually asked my dad, and he was just like, basically to follow through with the man's vision. So if his vision correlates with your vision, or even if you guys can grow into a vision together.
Why can't you ask your mom?
Well, because I felt like he married her, so.
So if you wanted to learn how to cook and your mom was a cook, you'd ask your dad because he ate the food?
Well,
think about the logic. If you want to learn how to cook and your mom was a cook, you'd ask your dad because he ate the food.
Right.
The fact that you ladies can't even go to your mothers is a problem.
I did. I asked my mom.
You shouldn't have to go to your mothers. The women of the village are supposed to teach the girls how to be wise, how to work with the men. But y'all don't have the relationship to where you can go to your mother or feel like you can get there from, hey, how are you? You just showed up, your name is what, Jess?
Yeah. No, I get everything you're saying because.
How old are you?
I'm traditional like you, but
how old are you?
You know. Pardon me?
How old are you?
Me, I'm 37.
All right. So you were saying you agree with the things I'm saying?
No, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I get what the girls are saying too, because it's like you wouldn't tell your daughter the advice that, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't tell your daughter, like, hey, put up with this shit. He's got money or whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
I
wouldn't
have
tell
a
your
daughter. Don't tell me what I would not tell my daughter. Oh, I
So
absolutely
you're
do.
going to tell your daughter, like, put up with this
I tell
bullshit.
my daughter watches my content.
But you know what? Like, because my
Put up with
mom,
it. Hold on, stop right there. Why is it always put up with his shit? We put up with your shit.
what?
Women today are out of order.
Do you know what action reaction
I do agree with
means?
him on that part, though. I do agree women are
Out of order.
where
Look at
No,
her.
no, you're
She's
right. You're
already
right.
we need
instead
some
of
critiquing.
me instead of you asking me a question, you immediately go to tell me why I'm wrong.
No, but listen. Like,
Okay,
listen.
before we get there, are you married?
Me? No, but I've been in, like, the same relationship
You have any
since I was
children?
19 till
Any
now.
children?
Yes,
Any
2.
children? And you came in saying you're a traditional woman.
I would say so because, like, this doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but, like, out of my whole family, I was the only one to have kids out of wedlock, and you know what I
Why
mean?
didn't you get married?
And date outside of my race as well.
Why didn't you
No,
get
I'm not
married?
married, but
Why didn't you get married? Why didn't you get married?
Not
Why didn't you get married?
because people be acting out. Because we're busy fighting, then planning a wedding.
How many kids do you have?
Who, me or him?
You.
Oh, us two together too.
So remember what I said about women complaining about men's behavior, but then you decide to make babies before you become a wife?
Right. That's
I'm
true.
sorry. Become a wife first.
No, I get it, but you know, life happens, and you know when you're in love, and
This
in
is
a
exactly
moment,
what you said,
you do
27,
things.
right? 27, and then what you just said 30
Right?
minutes ago. Life happens. Life doesn't happen, grown 37-year-old.
So
Life doesn't just happen, man.
You're right, but not
It
everyone
doesn't
is
happen.
wrong-headed like you. Like, fuck this bitch. I don't want to have kids with her, but I made her.
Well, no. The problem. This is why I don't tend to deal with women over 35. It's because you guys know all the mistakes, but instead of humbling yourself and saying something different to the younger women, y'all double down to validate your lives.
No, I get what you're saying. Because you know
What
what,
do
my
you mean,
mom
like,
taught
I
me
want to know
that
when you
I
say
wish
things
I
happen.
listened.
What do you mean? What do you mean things happen? What do you mean things happen? Life happens.
No, life happens. Like, let's just say you go to a bar or you meet someone beautiful and you guys vibe and had a great time. Like, let's not act like accidents don't happen. And this is not my situation at all, but
What do you mean
you
accident?
got
So you mean
pregnant or
sex?
whatever, and you
You
really
mean
like
sex? You mean sex?
Yes,
It's called a condom.
you already know.
I meet a stranger and I'm gonna put my
You
precious
already know.
dick, I'm gonna put my precious
In the
dick
heat of the
inside of
moment.
your suspect vagina without a condom. My precious dick, my precious seed, I protect it.
Okay, but that's your mind.
Like you should protect your precious womb.
You're right though, but
Then there is no accident, man.
that's true because you're a responsible individual that thinks
Because
ahead
I'm a
and you're
grown
probably
up.
not high or
Because I'm a grown up and I don't want HIV/AIDS. I don't want any other things to come along with that. Or children.
Mhm.
And I'm tired
Right.
of hearing grown women talk about accidents happen. You know how many steps it has to take from meeting somebody to having sex. There are thousands of steps in between.
I get what you're saying, but
So how did
like,
accidents
for
happen?
example,
So how did
Sierra,
it happen the second time?
she has a beautiful
So how did
relationship
it
with
happen?
family,
So
right?
how does that? So when people
But
say
she had a
accidents
baby
how does
out
it
of
happen the
wedlock or
second time?
whatever.
You're talking through me. How does it happen the second time?
What do you mean?
There's one kid, then there's two.
Cause you be holding on and having fun, and you're like, and women, we like to like make our man happy, and when you get pregnant again, you're like,
I don't have a problem with you making your husband happy.
but I'm not gonna
But
lie.
he's not your husband.
If you
He's
love
not your
somebody,
husband.
you're gonna do things.
No matter what, ma'am. No matter what. Women like yourself who are unmarried still don't have that security that the married version of yourself would have. And there's no way to make it be more secure. When DMX died, his baby mama of years was left out in the cold. Y'all know better, but modern women today are rebelling against what it is that's always protected you. Structure.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but not everyone is as strong-minded as you to like play out the part as it should be as a mother looking at my daughter or whatever. You know, you get what I'm saying or no?
No, I don't.
You should though, because not everyone is crazy and not everyone is smart enough to know
look at myself
to
and
do
say,
that.
excuse me. I look at people today, myself included, say how fucking weak we are. The previous generation survived World War II, the Vietnam War, polio, smallpox, the influenza, the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl. They had real fucking problems.
It's true,
Real
but we ain't in that era though.
No, we're not. Today, we allow women to just do what you're doing. I want you to understand, this is why you young ladies don't get the information, because women in her age group are still, you understand, and it's instead of saying, you know what, young ladies, if I were your age, I would not have done this because I've learned this. But they're still trying to, because they're still out here. And all I'm doing is I'm talking to 24, 21, 27, 37, and I'm talking to all unmarried women. 70 years ago, you all would have been married.
There's a lot of single, thirsty women out here these days. Like, it's 7 to 1 these days. Like,
but you got one man with 2 babies and no ring. Why not just make? Why not?
I have a ring. We just didn't get married.
But why not? Okay, I'm saying, why not finish the family and get out and get on down the line?
You know why? Because men, they do things and action, reaction. You know, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, what I want you to hear is.
So you want me to just like
what I want you to hold on. You're talking.
Keep shitting on me.
No. I'm talking right now. Action, reaction leaves you with no accountability. I mean, all you have is to react.
Okay, so what if I'm a
mother? You're a grown mother of 2. You're a grown mother of 2. You have the ability to be accountable and make your own actions.
That's true.
Ladies, and this is what I want to tell you. This is where this single, independent mindset, it teaches you how not to couple or pick men who give you action, reaction. Man, you're an attractive woman. You have plenty of suitable men. Why'd you pick one that has action, reaction? Why didn't you pick the boring guy?
I mean, he's not boring. He's almost too
exciting.
Why
didn't you? Why didn't you pick the guy who wanted to do the traditional thing like you said you were raised?
Because life doesn't happen that way. It's not a movie.
You see why I say, so 21 and 27, do you see why I say it's not the men, it's the women? This is the women that are older and they're supposed to be teaching, but they're still acting like they're your age.
Yeah.
If I blank this screen out and digitally transform the voices, they would think you were all about the same age. And I'm not saying that to insult. I'm just saying there's supposed to be a difference between 21 and 37.
Right.
But there's not.
Because, like, the things that you say, I really wish, like, some of the things you say, some of the shit I'd be like, calm down. But I'm like, I wish someone told me that when I was young so I would know better to do.
That's why I'm listening now.
You know what I mean?
You know what I want? And nobody told me.
Even though you may not agree with him, like it is what it is, and it's keeping it real.
Here's what I want. Because no one told me these things either, or else I wouldn't be divorced twice. But here's what I want. I want women in your position to go tell the younger women, so they don't have to worry about me and my tone and my delivery. You guys are supposed to be telling them this, not me. Because with me, they got to worry about the tone and this and that versus just get the right information.
But they listen more because you're a man, too. And you're
So
not
who?
bad to look at.
So, but can I ask you a question? So, who is gonna tell the men not to cheat on us?
Well, sweetheart, I have bad news for you. Women and men cheat roughly at the same rates. As a matter of fact, younger women cheat at exponentially higher rates, and this has been documented. Google it yourself. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you. See, this is all bullshit that y'all believe.
Because that's my problem. I'm not gonna stay with somebody that keeps cheating on me.
But you
Right, like you can only get shitted on.
But
So
you asked the question.
Come on now.
But men and women cheat at the same rates. Who's cheating on who? We're both cheating on each other.
Well, he keeps getting caught. So
To me, I just have a problem, like y'all said, I feel like, I mean, I feel like no man should cheat at all, but it's the ones that don't have nothing that's doing all the disrespect and the cheating, and they don't have
28 to
shit.
24%. Men cheat at a 28% rate. Women cheat at a 24% rate. But here's the funny thing: women talk about cheating like it's 9-1.
When women cheat, we cheat with emotions. When men cheat, it just be like, fuck.
No, you cheat with your vagina too.
No, but when
It
women
doesn't
cheat,
matter.
we cheat with our emotions.
But do men
When
and women
cheat,
talk
they
about
just fuck.
cheating? Do men talk about a fear of cheating like women do?
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You want us
I
to
gotta answer
marry?
that question first. Do men talk about, yeah, but what if she cheats like women talk about that?
No, they don't.
But and if it's almost the same, what's the difference? Y'all are being told that something happens that doesn't. Y'all women cheat at almost higher rates now.
So do you want
Yeah,
us to
'cause
marry?
bitches are like
Do you
men
want
now.
all three of us to marry cheaters? Oh, that's what you're saying? If he cheating on us, do you want us to marry them still?
Poor thing. See, this is what I mean. Y'all
He said poor thing.
listen. Yeah, you're all three of you guys, maybe you're 21. This is why I don't want you watching that stuff. That why did I get married? Because at a certain point, your mind becomes so warped by this propaganda. All you can see is relationships in negative terms. Worried about shit that ain't happening in mass. 8 out of 10 children in the black community are born to single mothers. 1 out of 4 black women will get married. That's one. But that one woman, the marriage tends to last 5 years. And if that marriage is divorced at a 75% rate, 8 out of 10 times it's you walking away with the kids. So who should really be concerned about relationships and marriage? According to the numbers, men should be the ones.
I get what you're saying.
No, absolutely not.
No, I get what you're saying.
No, I don't want this.
You
is
don't-
not a time to. This is not a time to combat.
You don't.
There's nothing you can say that's going to overcome this.
I'm
Stop.
like,
Stop. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to overcome this. You guys talk about relationships as in negative terms, and you guys are the ones that wreck stuff by the numbers.
I beg to differ.
Ma'am, unless you got better, I don't want, ma'am, before you say something, ma'am, unless you're coming with facts, data, statistics, I don't want to hear it on this.
Okay, but listen.
Unless you're coming with
Statistics
facts,
does
data,
not say
statistics,
everyone's
I
life.
don't want to hear it on this.
Okay, so
Your
let me give you
anecdotal,
a
I
narrative.
don't want to hear it on this one.
Can I give you a
I don't
narrative?
want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We've heard this shit too much. Shut it up, please. We've heard women like you tell this bullshit propaganda lie too much. That's what's confusing these young girls. This is the problem. I tell you not to listen to women her age and older because they're the ones warping you, not men. You still want to say, do you have better data, ma'am?
Yeah, you make sense, but you don't get the if.
Do you have better data?
I don't have no data.
Then if you
I
don't
was
have
listening
better
to you.
data,
No, I
why
trust
are you
that
still
data.
talking about this
For
issue?
psychology.
If
So
you
I
don't
trust-
have better data, why are you trying to make a different point?
because not everyone's story is the same.
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit, but they're living their
All
life.
right, I've told you. You're not trying. We're not doing
You
this.
know what I mean?
This is the problem. Young ladies, I want you to understand. These older women are so concerned with you feeling their pain, with you understanding that accidents happen. It's not always this way, that they're not teaching you. See, she knows what she's
That is
doing, but she wants to tell you her story so much. And then you guys get caught in between. And there are not enough men who can't speak. You hear more women like her talking than men like me.
You throw me in
This
the
is
car.
your problem right here. Women who say they know better, but they still want to tell you, now that's all not all the same. And we need to
You're,
figure out
I
every
get it.
snowflake. Man, do you look at these women's faces when you're talking? They're looking at you the same way. You're not getting it.
No, I know what you mean, but you know what I mean. I know what you mean, but I don't know if you know what I mean. Do
This
you
is the
know what I
problem
mean?
with modern relationships. The older cousins, the aunties, the women who have made the mistakes aren't humble enough to remove themselves from the story. Whatever
No,
happened, happened. Tell these young women what they should do. How about that? I'm
that
gonna
is
step
true,
back.
but
I'm gonna step back. You tell them what they should do.
I don't know what I should do because I don't have my stuff together. But I will be honest and say that my mom, she's amazing and smart.
No, 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 ma'am. I only ask you one thing: to tell these young women what they should do.
To live in a life to be happy.
Tell them how to do that.
Pardon me?
Tell them how to do that.
By just living off what you feel. I would like to say, but really not.
So the first thing she said is, "I can't tell you how to do that." But yet
I really can't.
she's still trying to overtalk me and still wanting to be heard. And then when I let you talk, she's got nothing for you. Just go on how you feel.
I
Man,
don't.
that's what got you where you are.
Yeah.
That's what got me where I am. That's what I mean. This is the problem, young ladies. I want you guys to see this is not necessarily a black thing. This is the modern woman thing.
Mhm.
You got two young women who are trying to learn, and you should be able to tell them something different. So this is why I say all you got is me. So you got to put up with my tone because at least I'm trying to tell you something. I come with facts, data, statistics. I don't come with this bullshit that most women are coming with. Well, shit just happens. Live life. At least I give you something that you can research to think about. The women failed you guys, not the men.
The woman failed us and not the men.
You women failed these young women. Yes. I'll ask you again. Tell these women who are 10 to 17, 10 to 16 years younger than you what they should do to get a different outcome than you.
I would say just think before you speak, because I really don't sometimes, and do what makes you happy because this is only one life. And that's all I gotta say because, and like I was saying before, that my mom taught me, and I never listened or thought about it till it panned out in my life. She was like you need to like pick your battles. You know what I mean? Like you know how when people get you mad and get you upset, and if you nitpick and bitch and complain about every single thing, like you're just gonna fuck shit up. You know what I mean? Like mess stuff up. You know what I mean? And she was like, sometimes, like you ain't going nowhere, and you love this man and whatever. Like you need to calm down and relax and not mess it up because you're not going anywhere because you love him and you're not going anywhere. But I'm not saying like, hey, like disrespect me, but she was saying that to me and I never understood it till I got a little older.
So 21. Did that help you in any way?
Pardon me? I couldn't hear you.
I think what she's saying is just try not, a lot of women are impulsive, and I feel like she's saying to not be so impulsive. It's to actually think through your decisions before you actually make them and try not to involve.
Is that what you okay.
I tried to dissect a little bit of some I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
I'm
that's
reading your facial expressions and it's not making any sense. It's not connecting. And again, the whole thing about do what makes you happy is the problem. Happiness is
Yeah,
short term. Ma'am, what makes you happy is what children do. It's time to grow up. You need to do what's right. Do what's practical, like grown-ups.
right.
I let you speak. Get out of this. I need to do what makes me happy and live my own life. this ethereal, liberal bullshit. You only got one way around it. That is amazingly short-sighted and selfish. So you can say that and then turn around and say that your mother told you something, but at the end of the day, you did what your ass wanted to do because it's all about you. And that's the problem with today's women.
That
It's
is
not
so
about
true,
anybody but them.
Like, we don't want to hear that, but you're telling the truth.
Yeah, have a good one. Appreciate it. Modern women is becoming, here's the biggest difference. I appreciate this. Ladies, I want you to have a life. The women I date are educated. I don't deal with dumb women. I deal with women that have something to lose. But the difference between now and back in the day is we had lives that were just bigger than our individual wants. We had a family that we had to make look good, a neighborhood, a community, a church. It wasn't just about our own personal individual happiness. That means the moment I'm not happy, I can choose to leave. That doesn't work. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I think this is actually a pretty good video, pretty good stuff. Have a good one. Tune in tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, man? How we doing? Nieces and nephews, kinfolks and cousins. That's right. I love LA. Well, not really. Y'all love LA. I'm getting to like it. Every time I come to LA though, I gotta admit, business, LA is great for business, especially doing what I do. What's going on? They're making my eyes, oh, I'm sorry. You know, Godfather undefeated. I know, right? So how y'all doing? Last night I didn't get a chance to go live. You know, anytime I'm in California, I'm always 3 hours behind. So, but I will be going live on Instagram Thursday. Probably like, what time is it? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. So, what's going on, nephew? Good to see you. I will be live tonight on IG, though. I'll be live, not on IG, scratch. It's Wednesday. We will be going live on YouTube tonight. So, yeah. In an undisclosed location, getting the work done. Shout out to everybody I met yesterday on Rodeo Drive. Shout out to brother Kenyon Martin. Hey, man, how you doing? It was good to meet you. I will tell you, man, I loved getting out in the field where the work is real, interacting with all the men, all the women, understanding how much of an impact everything that we're doing is making. You know, it's kind of wild. Talk about Cam Newton. Okay, I'm going to speak about Cam Newton tonight, and a lot of other things, because here's the funny thing, okay? High level. When women have been saying what they want, prefer, or like, that's championed as empowerment. When men say the same things, it's toxic. When a woman has her preferences, it's just called standards. When a man has his preferences, it's called misogyny. Look, if what he was saying was so wrong, why are so many unmarried women so upset? Unmarried women, okay? What did he basically say? Know how to cook. When did that become an insult? I guess the same time becoming average became an insult. When did he say, learn how to keep your mouth closed? Well, don't women want men to know when to speak up? The opposite of know when to shut up is know how to protect. But they don't think about that. I want a man to stand up and protect me. Do you want him to keep his mouth closed? Or do you want him at the right time to do the right thing? The only women who have a problem with this are the women who want to be in a power position. And that's cool. You can get there. There is some beta bell, noodleback dude out there who will let you be his partner and be the wind beneath his wings. And, you know, I hear this so often from women who are these boss chicks. Anytime I hear the words my truth, I know we're dealing with the boss chick mentality. Fine, be a boss chick, enjoy. But my truth, my reality, I don't want somebody to minimize me in any way. Understand something. Relationships minimize. Why? Because it ain't about you no more. Relationships, by their definition, have minimizations because they have boundaries. You want a high-paying job? Guess what? It minimizes you. You want complete freedom? Carry your ass out to the middle of the desert and rough it. You'll be free like a mug. And then tell me what their freedom is worth. See, too often today, we have women who want maximum freedom with minimum responsibility and minimum effort. If men thought this way, we would still be living in caves. So, like it or not, the golden rule, he who has the goal makes the rules. And if Cam Newton was Cam Johnson, if Cam Newton was Newton Cameron, working first shift down at the plant, we wouldn't be talking about it. It's because he's Cam Newton. It's because he can call the shots. It's because he does what he wants to and has enough money, and they can't cancel him because he has his own money. So I would say to the women who have a problem, what is the problem that you have? The problem that he said what he wants, or the problem you want guys like him? That's the real problem. See, if it wasn't a dude, if he didn't fit the kind of archetype of the kind of man that these women want, they wouldn't care what he thinks. And I think it's funny. If you're upset, if you're hostile, if you're pissed off, if you're triggered, let me ask you one question, ladies. What your husband got to say about that? Oh, that's a problem now, ain't it? What your husband, not your baby daddy, not your fiance, not your boyfriend, your husband. The man of value that your last name is his. The man of value that your last name is his. What does your husband have to say about it? And if not, maybe you're really not mad at Cam Newton. Maybe you're a little bit mad at your reality. Ain't his fault, ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. All right, nephews. All right, nieces. Tonight, YouTube. Peace. I'm going to hell. I'm going to get crucified.